Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are peering deep inside the highly regulated, often high-stakes world of pharmaceutical manufacturing.
And for good reason.
Exactly. It's undergoing this profound digital transformation called Pharma 4.0. And this isn't just about, small improvements or a faster packaging line.
No, it's a complete operational shift. It's moving from that traditional, highly manual, batch-focused way of doing things
To something intelligent, interconnected, and just fundamentally driven by data.
Yeah,
Verifiable, real-time data.
that's absolutely right. And for anyone trying to get a handle on this change, whether you're an investor, an operator, or just curious about where medicine is headed, we're here to give you the essential shortcut.
What's our mission today, then?
Our mission is to really understand the technological backbone of this revolution. We're looking at the whole suite of tools that, when you put them together, solve the industry's biggest challenges. We're talking
Really?
about product quality, patient safety, and just raw efficiency.
Okay, so the mission is clear. We're unpacking the full technology suite, from foundational sensors and 5G, all the way up to AI, digital twins, and 3D printing.
And the key here is synergy. It's how they all work together.
It's the interconnectedness. Okay, let's unpack this, starting with the very basics. How does the factory floor literally see, hear, and record what's going on?
Well, the foundation of all of this is the Industrial Internet of Things, or IIoT. You can think of it as the nervous system of the smart factory.
The connectivity layer.
Exactly. It allows for this pervasive data collection. We're talking about thousands of sensors tracking every critical production variable all the time, in real time.
And what specifically are they tracking? It sounds like we've moved way past simple temperature checks.
Oh, way past. They still monitor temperature, humidity, pressure, vibration, but they do it continuously and with a verifiable data trail, which is crucial for regulators.
So what are some applications?
Well, monitoring complex reactions inside huge chemical reactors, for one, or tracking the performance of every single motor on a packaging line, or using GPS and RFID tags to follow temperature-sensitive materials across the entire supply chain.
And that immediately addresses a huge industry pain point, right? Because if just one variable goes out of spec, you could lose an entire multi-million-dollar batch.
Precisely. The core benefit here is immediate anomaly detection. So if the system detects even a slight deviation, say a tiny vibration that suggests a motor bearing is starting to fail,
It sends an alert.
it automatically generates an alert for maintenance before the component fails. And, critically, before it compromises the product quality. You're shifting quality control from reactive to proactive.
But if you have thousands of these sensors all streaming data in real time,
Mm-hmm.
you need an incredible amount of speed to move that information around.
You do. And that brings us to the communications layer. A lot of older pharma facilities, they rely on these expensive, cumbersome wired networks.
Is the industry really ready to move to wireless?
They have to. And while things like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth have their place, 5G wireless is the real game changer here because of its reliability.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting for me. Why is that ultra-low latency, that speed, so vital when a reaction might take hours to complete?
Because the control systems need to respond instantly. If a pressure relief valve needs to open, that signal cannot have a millisecond of lag.
That makes sense.
To put it in a health context, think about connected ambulances. Vodafone set up 5G ambulances in Milan, allowing paramedics to stream huge amounts of patient data and video in real-time consultation with doctors.
That's mission-critical reliability.
And that's exactly what's now mandatory inside the manufacturing plant.
So to crunch all that data streaming in, you need a smart computational infrastructure. And it looks like it's a kind of split-brain approach, cloud and edge computing.
This architecture is it's non-negotiable when you're dealing with time sensitivity. Edge computing is deployed right there on the facility floor, close to the sensors.
For immediate processing.
Exactly. It handles the time-sensitive data, like that pressure spike notification.
Yeah.
You simply can't wait for data to travel to a distant cloud server before you trigger a safety stop on a reactor.
But the cloud still plays a massive role in the heavy lifting, the analysis, and storage.
Oh, absolutely. The cloud provides those virtually unlimited resources you need for long-term storage, which is vital for regulatory requirements and for advanced tasks, like training complex machine learning models.
And the market reflects that.
It really does. Cloud computing in pharma is projected to grow from around $17 billion in 2021 to almost $60 billion, $59.37 billion, specifically by 2030. That level of investment just underscores the reliance on these platforms.
Okay, now we move up from the connectivity layer to the intelligence layer. This is where artificial intelligence and machine learning come in to turn all that raw data into something useful.
Into actionable insight, yeah. AI is the analytical muscle of Pharma 4.0. It's transforming everything from the earliest stages of drug discovery all the way to optimizing plant operations.
How so in R&D?
Well, it's revolutionizing speed and accuracy. AI can help identify drug targets faster, predict how a compound might work, and even help personalize treatment plans based on huge data sets.
You mentioned Pfizer's using a generative AI platform. What is the AI generating in a manufacturing context?
It's generating highly optimized process parameters, so instead of a human scientist manually tweaking the temperature or the mixing time through trial and error.
The AI just predicts the best settings.
Exactly. It analyzes all the historical production data, the purity results, material inputs, and it predicts the ideal settings for maximum yield and quality. Pfizer is using this to increase manufacturing throughput by 20%. They're aiming for a 10% boost in yield and cutting cycle time by 25%.
That's extraordinary. And what about Novartis? They're using AI for image classification.
Correct. Novartis uses AI algorithms to rapidly classify digital images of cells that have been treated with experimental molecules.
So it's looking for tiny changes.
Tiny changes in cell shape that might indicate toxicity or the desired effect. It's a level of precision analysis that would just be impossible for human technicians to do at that scale.
This all feeds directly into that shift from reactive maintenance to proactive management. But if AI predicts a fault, where do you test the solution before you apply it to the real world? And I think that brings us to the virtual sandbox. Digital twin.
The digital twin is essentially a virtual software-based replica. It could be of a specific piece of equipment, a whole process, or even an entire production facility.
And it mirrors the real-world operations in real time.
Constantly using that IIoT data, its value is all about optimization and risk mitigation. You can test proposed process changes or software updates inside the twin without ever risking a real batch in the physical plant.
This seems particularly crucial in biopharma, where you're dealing with living organisms and contamination is a constant threat.
It is absolutely essential there. In biopharma, digital twins can simulate dynamic environments. They can model things like airflow patterns in a clean room, predict biological growth curves, and anticipate contamination risks, things you just can't see or measure otherwise.
And you can intervene before it's too late.
Before a costly contamination occurs. And the bottom line shows it works. McKinsey found that digitally enabled labs can cut quality control costs by 25 to 45% and get rid of up to 80% of manual documentation tasks.
Okay, so we've connected the facilities, we've given them an intelligence layer, now we get to the physical execution. Automation and robotics.
Yep.
This is where the AI's instructions get carried out.
With unparalleled precision, yes. This is the efficiency step. The global pharmaceutical robotics market is predicted to reach about $358 million by 2030.
And what are they used for?
Meticulous tasks. Things like measuring and combining tiny amounts of ingredients where you need absolute perfection for compliance. They're also central to high-throughput screening in R&D where millions of chemicals are evaluated.
And I've been hearing a lot about collaborative robots, or cobots. That seems to be a key innovation on the factory floor.
It's a critical development. Cobots are designed specifically to work safely right alongside human operators, and they are pivotal in increasing compliance simply by reducing human error and variance.
So they're used for consistency.
Exactly. In packaging, quality inspection, material handling, companies like Medtronic and AMG are already deploying them where consistency is just paramount, and that market is growing at nearly 10% a year.
Now moving from standardized automation to something completely different. Radical personalization. Additive manufacturing, or as most of us know it, 3D printing.
This completely flips the manufacturing model. It's a true paradigm shift away from standardized bulk mass production.
How so?
3D printing allows for the on-demand production of customized drug products. So instead of making one-size-fits-all medication, you can produce personalized dosage forms.
You mean customizing the pill itself?
The pill itself. We're talking about customizing its shape, its size, its release profile, how quickly the drug dissolves in the body, and even creating multi-drug combinations in a single pill.
All based on an individual patient's characteristics, like their age, weight, or even their genetic profile.
That is the goal. We're moving toward truly personalized medicine, and we already have the technical proof. The first FDA-approved 3D-printed tablet was a drug called Spriham, an anti-epileptic medication.
Okay, now let's talk about the systems that protect all of this and augment the human element, starting with traceability and security. Let's talk about blockchain.
The need for this is stark. The global distribution of substandard and counterfeit drugs has literally caused deaths and destroyed public trust.
It's a massive problem.
And blockchain provides a secure, transparent, and essentially tamper-proof ledger for tracking transactions, from the raw material supplier all the way to the end consumer.
So it's a secure digital audit trail for every single pill.
Exactly. So when you, the consumer, scan a label on your smartphone, you can get instant cryptographic verification of that drug's authenticity and its entire journey.
And this is already in use.
It is. A system called Easy Tracker successfully used blockchain to record and track over 2 million labeled products back in 2022 alone.
Of course, when you connect everything, you create this vastly larger attack surface. This makes robust cybersecurity not just good practice, but an essential shield.
It is mission critical. I mean, pharmaceutical companies hold some of the most sensitive data imaginable. Patient records, patented drug formulas, clinical trial data, IP. They're a primary target.
And the threat is real.
The threat is constant. A recent survey showed 98% of pharma firms reported at least one intrusion, often leading to these debilitating ransomware attacks that can stop production entirely.
So what are the defenses? A simple firewall isn't going to cut it.
Not even close. The FDA now explicitly calls for manufacturers to implement cybersecurity risk management. Key solutions are things like network segmentation.
Which is what exactly?
It means dividing the network into smaller, isolated zones. So if one area is breached, the attacker can't just move laterally to the critical production systems.
And the other big one is zero trust architecture.
Right. Which means no user or device is inherently trusted. You have to continuously verify identity and authorization for every single access request, no matter where it comes from.
Finally, let's talk about how we make the human workforce smarter and safer using AR and VR. This is about augmenting the expert, not replacing them.
Exactly. AR and VR provide these immersive, interactive tools that can significantly boost training effectiveness. It can reduce time spent in traditional training by up to 25%.
By providing simulations.
Hands-on simulations of complex, high-risk scenarios without any actual danger. For instance, VR training at Boehringer Ingelheim improved compliance with good manufacturing practices, and it reduced errors in sterile production, which is a huge deal.
And what about for maintenance? How does AR change the game there?
It eliminates guesswork and travel time. AR technology can overlay digital information like wiring diagrams or step-by-step procedures directly onto the physical equipment.
So an expert can be anywhere in the world and guide the person on site.
Exactly. A remote technician can see what the on-site person is seeing and guide them in real time. It reduces downtime and ensures the repair is done correctly the first time.
We've covered the entire technology stack. So now let's look at the result of integrating all of these tools, the smart manufacturing metrics, and the end-to-end impact.
Right. The goal of all this integration is to create a highly efficient, adaptive production environment. And the key performance indicator the industry uses to measure this is called overall equipment effectiveness, or OEE.
A critical metric. Can you break down why the shift from the industry average to world-class is so staggering?
Absolutely. OEE measures three things: availability, which is how often the equipment is running; performance, how fast it's running; and quality, how many good products it makes.
And the industry average is pretty low.
It hovers around 37% OEE, and that's because of long regulatory hold times, extended changeovers between batches, and high rates of failure due to human error.
And what does a world-class Pharma 4.0 manufacturer achieve?
They're achieving OEE levels of 70% or higher, and they do this largely by moving toward continuous manufacturing, where raw materials flow uninterruptedly into finished products. The AI and IoT data means fewer stoppages, higher speeds, and drastically improved quality.
Which brings us to the biggest takeaway of all: end-to-end integration.
It is the ultimate vision. Pharma 4.0 demands seamless connectivity and coordination across the entire value chain. R&D data flows instantly to manufacturing, quality data feeds back into the AI models, and distribution is tracked transparently via blockchain.
You're breaking down the organizational silos.
Completely, and that accelerates timelines dramatically. You get faster batch releases and much more responsive supply chains. And the big players, Roche, Novartis, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, are all committed to this integrated model.
Okay, let's summarize. This monumental shift isn't just about adding isolated pieces of tech.
No, it's about the synergistic use of connectivity, intelligence, and automation, all secured by robust systems to achieve a level of excellence and precision that just wasn't possible 5 years ago.
The connectivity provides the data, the intelligence layer analyzes it, and automation executes it.
all while digital twins allow for risk-free, continuous optimization. It's an intelligent loop designed for maximum efficiency and, most importantly, patient safety.
So what does this all mean for you, the consumer? The ability to produce a drug specifically customized for you, down to the precise dosage, shape, and release profile, is now technically feasible.
Thanks to 3D printing and that deep digital integration.
It fundamentally moves medicine from standardized mass production toward highly individualized care. So if technology can create a perfectly personalized tablet, how long until every part of the healthcare experience, from diagnostics to drug distribution, is entirely unique to the individual consumer? That's something for you to mull over until our next deep dive.